we're talking about drawing conclusions and the, I don't know even what it was.
The feedback on
yeah,
it.
feedback.
Yeah. I think that it was really creative to do something different, because drawing conclusions is something that we've done, I mean, at least 2 other times before. And it's a lot more exciting for them to feel like they're being a part of drawing conclusions than reading a book and drawing conclusions about what the author's trying to say. It really put the learning in their hands. I thought that it was the differentiated groups worked very well. It's a very important thing to do, to have a whole mix of kids. And it's tough, especially because we're like 2/3 boys and 1/3 girls. It's hard to make. It's really hard to come up with groups.
Yeah, I tried to put kids of all different levels in each group instead of basing them off of levels, hoping that it would help them to pick up on things easier or help them where they're struggling.
Yes, you can tell. That worked really well. And then as you had the crime scene in the treehouse, it was a very good idea to have everyone else working on. I think they were reading or they're filling something out on their worksheets. While one group at a time went in there, it really helped with that whole classroom management piece that we've been talking about. That everyone else had an activity and they knew exactly what they were doing. You continue to get better at giving directions, making sure everyone's paying attention and using signals and things like that, like the bell.
Oh yeah.
That's really important. And they know that now. When you first start teaching them, okay, what can I get away? Can I get away with Miss Osting? Is she really going to let me do this?
Yeah.
It was nice that they had the drawing conclusions poster that they could refer back to. And we talked about many times that it's like you're a detective when you're drawing conclusions. So it was perfect that they actually were detectives today. And on the chart there was a little magnifying glass to help them kind of connect the two things together. It was too bad that we didn't have time for the you do. Will you tell me again what the you do was going to be?
I had planned a worksheet that I was going to read some sentences and then they were going to use their whiteboards and write down the conclusions that they drew from those sentences, like what's going to happen next, that kind of a thing.
Good.
But yeah, that having such a crazy lesson where they're all doing things and there are so many different parts, we just kind of missed out on that last wrapping up portion of it. But I think that they did still have to do a lot of work on their own, drawing conclusions on their own before they were broken up into groups. So I think that kind of hit the you do as well. Though I would have liked to have gotten to the worksheet just to wrap up the whole thing.
Yeah, and sometimes teaching is like that. It doesn't always fit perfectly. Like today, we didn't do reading workshop. We usually try to do that for a whole, 15 minutes. It didn't happen. It was only 10 minutes today. And, especially because of library this morning. So some days are just like that. And that's okay. Did you have any questions for me about the lesson?
I don't think so.